are these people? Who are these people?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for this brand new episode of Angel in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Angel Rivera, of course, and for now I'm by myself, but Alex Wright will be here any minute, so we look forward to that, as well as we have other things this week, and as well, some other good stuff. But for now, we'll be getting to that in a moment, but I want to thank everyone for joining me and hope everybody has a great weekend. And, as well as let's do that. Hope everybody has a great week. And, you know, last night was kind of a shocking night and I was kind of annoyed, but, things happen. If you're a baseball fan or if you're a Yankee fan in particular, shit happens and we'll move on. Hopefully tonight the Yankees take that 3-1 series lead as, I'm hoping for. But hope everybody had a great week and I'm rambling now. So, let's see. Oh, great. Yeah, well, I'm just seeing the Yankees on my timeline here on X, and I'm not that particularly happy about it. But I mean, the show will go on. The show has to go on. So my buddy Alex will join us in a moment. Oh, actually, I think he's here. Hold on. Yeah, he's here. Welcome.
I'm here.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were here until just now. I was like, I looked like, oh wait, I think you're here now.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me. And I was just talking about how last night was just a punch in the gut for me personally, but
Man.
hopefully game 4
We
better
were
tonight.
one strike away.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's devastating for me personally.
Yeah.
We were one strike away from going up 3-0. It's like, oh no, by the way, those Indians, I'm sorry, Guardians, whatever they call it now, they managed to hit multiple home runs and now they won a game. So yeah, I was just talking about that. But other than that, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody, enjoyed their week. I'm not that happy about it, but but hope everybody enjoyed their week. Is it me? Again, I'm gonna sound like a bitter Yankee fan here for a moment, but please just bear with me 1 second. When the game tying home run was hit, I forget his name, Noel, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That fucker, he flipped his bat like he knew what he was doing. Like he hit plenty of those home runs before, and I'm like, dude, you're a rookie. You're flipping your bat like you're like a veteran, like Otani or like Judge or something. Those guys don't even flip their bats. And again, I know, I understand. I'm a bitter Yankee fan here. I get it. I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh well, no. I'm a bitter Yankee fan. I get it. But that guy flipping his bat just drives me nuts. Like I wish tonight somebody would throw a ball at him. It's not going to happen.
Giancarlo Stanton would have done the same thing. So,
but he didn't flip his bat though last night.
No, but I mean in that situation. Well, no, but I meant if he tied the game and it was a long shot. He's done that a lot. He would have. He would. I think he would have done the same thing. So, and he would have celebrated. That home run. So I don't blame what Noel did. I mean, that was a huge moment. So,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, I was like, that no good son of a bitch flipped his bat. Like he's some rookie. Like, oh yeah, let me flip my bat. Like I've done this many times before. Again, I'm a bitter Yank. I get it. I'm not saying I'm not claiming that. Oh well, I'm not claiming. How dare he flip his bat? Maybe I am.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm just so annoyed at that. That he flipped his bat, and then that other guy hit the home run in the 10th inning, he flipped his bat too. Like oh, I've done this before.
Mm.
Like I wish it was 1998 where Roger Clemens would throw his ball up under his chin. Like, there you
Yeah.
go, take that, bitch. But
Mhm.
again, I'm a bitter Yankees fan. I get it. I get it. Hopefully, we'll win Game 4 later tonight. But
Yeah.
but I get it. I'm a bitter Yankees fan. I hope that the Indians, I said it again, the Guardians, that they lose tonight in devastating fashion, and it hurts their feelings.
I do want to get some hopes high though, because
Okay.
like if you remember 2009 when the Angels won Game 3 against the Yankees, in that walk-off hit, Yankees were still able to win that series. And of course, when the Yankees faced against back then the Indians in the 2017 ALDS, when Joe Girardi failed to replay that hit by pitch and the Yankees lost that game,
Right.
down on 2, Yankees came back to win that series. And then against the Guardians in 2022, when Boone brought in Clark Smith to try to close it out, and the Indians won that game. They went up 2-1, but the Yankees were still able to come back and win that series. So
so I'm not saying the series is over, but that was devastating.
Yeah.
To me, I was just like, all right. So Stanton and Judge hit those home runs off Class A. Like, oh, it's over. We're up 3-0. We're gonna win the series tonight. Oh shit! Turns out that fucking Noel and the other dude hit game tying, game winning home runs.
I'm just a little bothered that Luke Weaver couldn't put Lane Thomas away when he was ahead 0-2. I'm like, how do you not put him away in that spot?
I know, it's so brutal and devastating.
And I can't blame Aaron Boone for the loss. I mean, he did
no.
he needed to do.
I last night, like I said, I'm not suggesting that Boone is at fault.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, me personally, my baseball instincts kicked in as soon as I saw Noel at the batter's box. I'm like, two things need to happen. Either A, he needs to bring in Clay Holmes to pitch to him, or B, he needs to walk him and pitch to the next hitter. Which it turns out that Weaver struck out, right? Run.
Yeah.
So it's like he needs to either walk him or pitch or bring in Clay Holmes. You cannot let Weaver pitch to Noel. I instantly saw him in the batter's box. I'm like, yeah, either he needs to be on first base or he needs to bring in Holmes to pitch to him. Again, that drives me crazy. And I talked to Indy about this. I mean, on Discord earlier today. Again, I'm not blaming Boone for this. It's not his fault. But at the same time, it's like, I just wish he would have brought in Holmes or walked him and pitched to the next hitter. It's like, it's just brutal. That loss was devastating to me. I'm not saying the series is over. It's not.
Oh, no.
But and the Yankees still up 2-1, but it's still a brutal loss.
Yeah.
So, AA Witchy, thank you for joining us on X or Kick, whatever it's called. Thank you. So,
hey Witchy.
Oh no, please. I mean, I'm late too. I mean, yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
What is this?
So, Misty's not going to jump on today?
Probably not. No, because I didn't even talk to her or anything about it. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a bunch of crap. The Yankees start at 8:00 tonight. Hopefully, they get that Game 4 victory, and
thankfully, the Guardians have that bad starter for pitching tonight. I don't remember his name.
Oh God, 3-10 with a 4 ERA or 5 this season.
Really take advantage and try to stay their high leverage bullpen relievers. So,
again, before we start with the actual show tonight, the Guardians have their bullpen is tired. And you can tell, they're worn out. I mean, Stephen Voigt is the manager of the Guardians. He's gone a lot to the bullpen in this playoffs.
It's Stephen Vogt, by the way, not Voigt.
You're
thinking of Luke Voigt.
Voigt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm butchering this guy. And he just played last year too. He was on a major league roster. and I'm butchering his name. But yeah, I mean Voigt. I'm sorry, but Stephen Voigt. Let's say I don't know. Sorry, I apologize, but horrible name. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean he's gone to his bullpen a lot this playoffs, and
Mhm.
he got past the Tigers because of that home run off of what's that
Tarek Google.
yeah, Tugel, thank you. He
Mhm.
went out. That's the only reason why the Guardians are in the LCS because like I said on X when they were playing that game, I'm like, oh well, Schoolboy's gonna pitch the Tigers in the LCS against the Yankees.
Mhm.
That grand slam, like, oh shit, maybe not. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Shit, he's an
Yeah.
ace. He's gonna be Cy Young Award winner this season. What the
Mhm.
hell? I mean, he's definitely gonna pitch him in the LCS. And I thought
And,
the
you know,
Tigers be a better matchup for the Yankees, be more
yeah.
entertaining, but.
One thing I was hopeful is that, after the Guardians won last night, I don't know if you saw a video of it, but Emmanuel Clase, he made that stupid video after they won, posting the, hey, look at all the awards I have achieved,
Oh yeah,
all
yeah, I
the,
saw that. I
yeah, it's
saw
like,
it this
dude,
morning.
you blew the save against Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, I didn't see that until this
What are
morning.
you
You're right.
celebrating for?
Hmm? Yeah, I saw it this morning. I was like, "Come on, dude! You came up small against
Yeah.
Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, what the two best hitters in baseball. I mean, in
And
the
he's been
playoffs.
horrible this postseason.
Yeah, he came up small, not only against Giancarlo and Aaron, but also against the Tigers. He came up
Yeah.
massively small." And people comparing to Mariano Rivera is like my ass cheeks. I'm
Well, it
sorry.
was Austin Hedges that said that Clase was better than Mariano.
No,
That's,
my ass. No
yeah.
one better than Mariano. My ass
Yeah.
cheeks. I'm sorry. I mean, Mariano is like the greatest closer of all time, and Clase
Mhm.
is not anywhere near the level of Mariano Rivera. Yes,
Yeah.
he had a fantastic year this year. He gave up less than 10 runs this season. That's great. But
Mhm.
Mariano did it in the playoffs over and over and over and over again. And yes, I get it. He blew the 2001 World Series. And yes, David Ortiz nailed him to the wall. But other than that, I mean, he's a legend. The
Well, no, it
greatest.
was no. It was Rivera. He gave up that game tying single in game 4, which started the comeback. That's
Yankees are up 3-0, and
yeah.
Mariano gave up that hit to David Ortiz, which led to the
No, it
tie.
wasn't
Which
David Ortiz. I think it was Bill Miller. I think that was who it was.
I know Dave Roberts was on base
Dave
and
Roberts
stole
stole second
second.
base, and then I think it was
Right, and then
yeah,
somebody hit that single, which led to
yeah,
the win.
yeah.
Was
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
Ortiz.
it wasn't David Ortiz? Okay, again, I'm thinking because David Ortiz it hit Mariano well.
That walk off home run later on, and in the next game he had a walk off single. So
Okay, well, yeah, I assumed it was David Ortiz, but I know he hit Mariano well throughout his career. But he's the only one that figured out hit Mariano. He's like, it's not that hard. Just hit his cutter early. I mean, he was talking to Alex Rodriguez about this. He's like, just hit his swing early, hit the cutter early, and then you can, you hit him. He's like a normal pitcher, but but
and
nobody figured out.
by the
Go ahead.
way, I think it may have been a good thing that the Yankees didn't trade for Jack Flaherty because he got smoked tonight against the Mets.
Well, I mean, hey.
Yeah, Dodgers are currently losing
Well,
10-5. So
oh, great. No, because I'm like, the Dodgers won last night. I'm like, oh shit! If they win the pennant early,
mhm.
the Yankees are screwed because they're gonna have to. Because right now, again, I could be completely wrong, and we'll get to the main show. And I'm sorry about this, but the Yankees. I mean, ultimately, we're still up 2-1,
Mhm.
and worst case scenario, we go back to Yankee Stadium for Game 6 and 7,
Yeah.
and the Guardians struggled at Yankee Stadium in the first 2 games. Again, I'm going to say Indians probably a few more times, and I'm sorry, but I had to stop myself there. But yeah, they win. Even if the Guardians win 2 out of 3 in Cleveland tonight or throughout this few days, which is okay, we're still up 3-2,
Mhm.
and but it was so devastating. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just wish that, fuck. And it drives me crazy because I'm like, again, I said it last night. I thought Holmes should have pitched to Noel. Again, you pointed out that maybe Holmes would have given up the home run too, but I'm like, damn it! I just wish that Boone would have made that move because Holmes is warmed up and ready to go, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, because Holmes has that bowling ball slider, and
Mhm.
chances are Noel wouldn't hit that in the air.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he would have. Maybe Holmes would have hung his slider and it would have gone out anyways. But
Yeah.
but in my baseball, my instincts, I saw Noel. I don't know his first name. Sorry, I can't pronounce it anyways. But
Yeah.
I saw Noel at the batter's box, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is not good. Either I would have had Holmes pitch to him, or I would have walked him and pitched to the next hitter. Which, by the way, Weaver struck out anyway, so it was like, I just wish that But I digress. I mean, I'm sorry. We've been talking baseball a lot, and the game starts like in half an hour. So let me. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the Yankees go up 3-1 tonight, and it's not much of a complaint. But I mean, today's show is. Today's show is we're episode 77, and so we're gonna talk about the Vice President Kamala Harris's appearance on Fox News with Brett Baer, which was an absolute disaster for her. Even though you have plenty of Democrats claiming that she did such a great job tonight or last night, and it was an absolute disaster.
Remember when
didn't
she went after Tulsi Gabbard for going after Fox News, going on Fox News?
Oh yeah. But meanwhile, it's okay for her to go on Fox News. It's absolutely, it's okay. She did such a Here's the thing: she's down. She's down quite a bit. I mean, according to polling, she's barely ahead nationally. Last time I saw, she's up by a point or two nationally, but she's down in all the swing states except Wisconsin. The most recent polling, so it's very likely that she's going to lose.
But remember,
Because
Kyle Kowinski, she's crushing Trump.
oh well, yeah. I mean, according to our blonde haired favorite YouTuber there. I mean, she's up, and she's crushing Donald Trump, even though every other solitary poll has her losing. So
we should also talk about Butch Ware's horrible tweets about what was it, China or whatever he tweeted.
well, yeah. I mean, I saw that tweet, and I'm like, oh come on, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wanted
Now
to vote for.
he's blocking people. He's
Oh
limiting replies.
yeah. I wanted to vote for you, and immediately, or vote for Jill Stein. Immediately, you give me a reason not to do it, and it's like, oh come on, dude.
Yeah, he made my decision easy not to vote. So yeah.
You gave me let's see. Oops, no, where is it? Yeah, I mean, what if? Hold on, sorry about that. Yeah, that one. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it made me realize that. Oh no. I mean, Jill Stein didn't do exactly the best job of choosing Butch Ware as VP. Yeah, I want to show this real quick. Kamala Harris running her mouth with Charlemagne the God on an audio town hall where she's talking about reparations. So let's just check this out. It's like 7 seconds. It's not going to be long.
Well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position.
Yeah, it has to be reparations studied. Has to be studied.
We have to take it seriously.
Yeah, it has to be studied. You have to have a commission full of Democrats and maybe some Republicans, a bipartisan committee to study reparations for Black people. I'm sorry.
With healthcare, we have to take a look at it. It needs to be taken seriously.
It has to be studied. I mean, it has to be studied. I mean, God forbid that you actually do something there, but it has to be studied. That's reparations there, so that needs to be studied. Let's see, and let's see, Kamala Harris. Let's see, way forward. In another thing, so again,
and
I
I just want to
have.
say one more. I just want to say one more thing about the Yankees game. It kind of makes me wish we had just lost 3-1 instead, because then we wouldn't have to use the high relievers, and it'd be like, oh well, it just wasn't the Yankees.
I was thinking something similar. It's like,
Yeah.
I would have rather lost that game 3-1 than to have. And great home runs by Stanton and Judge. We're up 5-3 with 2 outs in the ninth. Game's over. We got this 3-0. Oh shit! All those home runs happen, and it's just devastating. But I agree with that. I'd rather lost 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
So this is again, this annoys me, but this is an official campaign ad for Kamala Harris, and she's gonna talk about this. Are they gonna talk about this woman, Amber Nicole Thurman, who died allegedly because there's no access to abortion in Georgia or Alabama? Again, I say allegedly because it's not exactly the truth, but that doesn't stop the Democrats. So
my daughter Amber made me so proud.
She was having complications.
And
tonight we are learning more about the death of Amber Thurman.
The death of Amber Thurman was likely preventable if she'd had access to abortion care in her home state of Georgia.
What happened to her was preventable. My daughter is gone because of what Donald Trump did.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
It's nothing good enough to bring her back. Her life is over.
I've never been a political person, never. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she showed me she really cared. I felt her sincerity, and I felt her strength.
We will speak her name, Amber Nicole Thurman.
I felt her compassion. We will never get Amber back, but we can make sure this never happens again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Yeah, well, fuck yourself. But it kind of turns out that's not exactly true. According, you got some notes here. Amber's death was not due to abortion laws in Georgia, according to an attorney representing her family. Ben Crump blamed doctors, not the law, for Thurman's death. Even under Georgia's law, the doctors had a duty to save Amber. Also, Trump did not overturn Roe v. Wade. So apparently, according to their own attorney who's suing the hospital and doctors, is like, oh yeah, by the way, it wasn't abortion. It was for other reasons. For this drug here, that drug right there, that drug, I kind of, I highlighted it there. That drug caused her death. It wasn't abortion. It wasn't lack of access to abortion or anything like that. But of course, that doesn't stop Democrats from lying.
Yeah.
So
we should follow the account Kamala HQ Lies. I think that's what it's called. I think I told you about it.
Yeah, this is Kamala HQ, like the account that, I guess they represent the party or the Harris campaign, so.
And Kamala wins. Kamala's wins.
She died from side effects from the abortion pill. In fact, let me. This is she died from side effects from the abortion pill. You liars! The people who gave her the pills killed her. Yeah, I've noticed from the beginning. Why are they acting like the lack of access to abortion killed her, which is not true? So these people who are her family are using her death for political reasons to help Kamala try to win this election. It's disgusting. It's just, I could not use. Let's say I found Amber and mine died for any reason. I would not use it for political purposes to help somebody else win an election that I don't even know really. Like it's just sickening, and these people do it without any. These three do it without any no problem. It's like, oh yeah, obviously it's abortion. it turns out it's not abortion. It was the side effects to the actual drug. Huh, that's weird. It doesn't matter though. You know, I mean, and she died because Donald Trump took away abortion. Ridiculous. Just gross. These people are disgusting.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. Tim Walz. I just want to play this before I get to the
That guy's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, but here we go. So Tim Walz, you know, this is Donald Trump's account, or one of his campaign account, Trump's War Room. Tim Walz is different. So I can't actually play the sound because they have copyrighted music here. It's called Dancing Queen or Dancing something like that. It's ABBA, you know, ABBA Dancing Queen or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're playing that, you know. So Dancing Queen, dancing, you know, that song, you know, this song from the 70s. But look at him. I mean, if you know that song, it fits him perfectly there. I can't remember the song name at all. I do remember the music though.
You don't have to hum the rest of the way through.
Like, yeah, you know, I mean, it's just describes. Look at him. I mean, he's like,
like, calm down, man. You're not that special.
Look at him. He's
it's like that Chris Farley clip that he goes all crazy and with high fiving the crowd, picking him up, you know.
Yeah, so there he is. You know, I mean, can't get enough of doing what he did there.
If that was JD Vance, I mean, just imagine the reaction if that was JD Vance doing that shit.
Oh, liberals would completely melt down. Of course. So yeah, that's that.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like. So let's get to Kamala Harris here with Brett Baer of Fox. About to say something else, but Kamala Harris falls apart in train wreck interview with Fox. Kamala thought she was ready for Brett Baer. She was wrong. So yeah, there's a few clips here, but I have a lot more here. So the conversation quickly went off the rails when Kamala Harris dodged Brett Baer's questions on illegal immigration while simultaneously saying, "Let's get to the point."
I just want to respond to Richie very quickly. The reason why I was closing up like that, I was adjusting my camera. That's what I was doing.
Okay. Let me just do that. Again. The conversations went off quickly off the rails. So this is Kamala Harris talking about immigration. Illegal immigration. Let's watch.
Voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Oops.
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have.
Remember, how many illegal immigrants have you released in the last 3.5 years? Which I'm sure is a real answer to that question because the United States government keeps records. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, like they don't know. They know. It's that she won't answer the question. Let's watch.
And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but a number. Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Yeah, she's going to blame Trump for it.
Let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
it's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of
system.
6
She won't answer the question.
million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came.
Yeah, she won't answer the question. absolutely not won't answer that question. Very inconvenient for her politically to answer that question.
I mean, I can't believe I have to credit Brett Baer. Is that his name? Brett
Yeah.
Baer? Yeah, Brett.
Yeah.
I can't believe I have to credit him for actually asking her the questions and, not, actually following up on the questions and not letting her get away with the answers.
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of people, or some people, even people that I know and like, are kind of saying, well, he shouldn't have interrupted so much and let her answer the question. And I'm like, no, but she wasn't answering the question.
Yeah.
She was purposely trying to filibuster, not answering any questions. She would, like, Brett Baer asked a question, and then she would go right into her talking points about the Orange Man and how evil the Orange Man was. And she wouldn't answer any questions, which is why he had to interrupt her. Because here's the thing, her campaign, her staffers only gave 25 minutes. Initially, it was 35 minutes, but she arrived late. And then we're like, oh, no, well, we only got 25 minutes. Like, okay, that's fine. And then she would filibuster. Like, no, you got to answer these questions. You only have 25 minutes because your campaign, your staffers kind of, cut the time. So it's like, you have to answer these questions. So I don't blame Brett Baer for interrupting her every 5 seconds. I would have done it too. It's like, no, you got to answer your questions. I don't want to hear talking points because everybody heard your talking points about how evil the Orange Man is. But let's see. The next question involved Kamala slurring her words, saying no future HURM, I don't know what that is, would occur, while blaming Trump for nursing student Lakeland Riley's death. This is right after Brett Baer informed Kamala to her face that the illegal immigrant who murdered Riley came on her watch before any bill negotiations were on the table. Well, because her talking point is, Donald Trump killed the bill, to stop illegal immigration. But this is before that. Yeah. But guess what she does? She still blames Donald Trump for it somehow.
That's all he got, but Trump.
Yeah, she's going to blame Donald Trump for it, even though Brett Baer explained to her this is before any Trump killing that bill, that she thinks would have stopped legal immigration, which it wouldn't have. But, but she's still going to blame Trump for it.
Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill.
Well before the bipartisan bill was proposed. So she's still going to blame Trump for this, though.
President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. Oops. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics.
He makes it clear it's well before any negotiation, any Donald Trump getting involved in the politics of this. And he still blames Trump for this.
A specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe those families an apology?
Let me just say,
yes,
first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border.
If they would have passed a border security bill 9 months ago. She's trying to blame Trump for this, even though it's her fault.
I mean, more support for the folks.
For a second. Yeah. Like if it was 9 months ago, why should she bring up Trump about that? Trump is been gone for what, 3 years or over 3 years? So
3.5 years.
I don't understand.
Well, because Trump, they proposed, the Biden administration proposed that immigration bill, which was draconian, which basically it gave the Republicans everything they wanted, and Trump still said no. This killed the bill because the thing that they won't tell you is the fact that immigration bill had like $60 billion for Ukraine just stuck in there for no reason, but. Yeah, that's why the Republicans killed it. Also, Trump did say kill it, but that was not the main reason. The main reason because they just stuck $60 billion extra for Ukraine for no reason. That's why the bill was killed. Of course, they won't tell you that, but that's that's. But yeah, even then, even if you would have passed a bill 9 months ago, these people, these women, still would have been murdered or deleted, let's say, by the illegal immigrants, that were let into the country by the Biden administration.
The folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together,
Madam Vice President,
to ensure that
Make her
no
answer the
future
question.
harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely.
She won't apologize. Look, even let's say, look, I'm sorry, we were wrong. That's it. I guarantee you her supporters would have forgiven her. And hell, most Americans would have forgiven her because most Americans want to hate Trump. But no, she won't even say that. It's like, I'm so sorry for her loss. But no, I can't apologize. Fuck you, basically. So, yeah, she won't apologize. I mean, it's just... All right, let's see. Kamala then oddly flipped the script from the border secure to the border has been insecure for a long time. And it started with Trump. So somehow, apparently, she just flipped it for no reason. Rivera then reminded her that there are 90-plus executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. Kamala didn't know how to respond and was left speechless.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
Oops.
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before.
Yeah.
Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably...
By the way, she wouldn't go down the border when she was the border czar, but somehow now she doesn't when she's running for president. Coincidence, huh?
I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how the system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
there were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies.
There was a ton of border executive orders that were flipped by Biden. And she has no explanation. She has no good answers for that.
Stay here because there's other things to talk about. But you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said you've been, quote, a failure with border security.
Oh, shit. So the Border Patrol Union said they endorsed that draconian bill that, that the Biden-Harris administration had passed. And then they turned right around and endorsed Donald Trump. It's like, oh, yeah, Kamala Harris, fuck her. She's not good enough. What's this? I don't care about that. But, yeah, the Border Patrol Union, there is no chance in hell they would endorse a Democrat because they want a Donald Trump administration in order to deport more immigrants than they could ever dream of. So Kamala's full-blown TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, overcame her further when Brett Baer played an ad that exposed her support for taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. The vice president responded by complaining about how much money Trump spent on that ad, which is not a good answer.
That's your complaint?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah,
so?
I mean, I do support sex change operations for prisoners, for inmates, but how dare Donald Trump spend millions of dollars running that ad?
Who cares about the money they spent?
It's like, it's not my money. That's his donors' money. You know, his campaign donors' money. You know, that's not my money. I don't give a shit. What's funny, again, I'll tell this story. My mother saw that ad, or one of those ads, a few of those ads in Spanish, and he's like, is that bitch out of her mind? It's like, she did do that. She did support that, Mom. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say she didn't support that. She did support that. Or at least that's what she said a few years ago when she ran for president. So, and she's like, oh, no, she's out of her mind. I'm not voting for her. Just that right there. She's out of her. I mean, she just lost my mother's vote. Again, I'm not saying she's going to vote for Trump, but she just, you know, she's like, she probably either vote third party or something. But yeah, I mean, that was, she's just an idiot. But let's see her excuse. You know, how dare Donald Trump spend millions of dollars running that ad? So let's watch.
This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
Yeah.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
Yes, she would.
I will follow the law.
See?
And it's a law that
when
Donald
she
Trump...
says I follow the law, means yes, that she would support sex change operations for prisoners.
actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available
No,
to...
let's blame Donald Trump for this. Yeah. I mean, I'll follow the law just like Trump did. It's his fault. It's not my fault. It's his fault.
on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, you know, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries.
You know what,
He didn't advocate for that.
Take responsible for what happened in your administration.
Yeah,
you have to take responsibility for what happened in your administration. You hear that? I want you to remember that. Because Kamala Harris will not take responsibility for anything that happened in her administration.
Yeah.
She will not take any responsibility for the horrible economy, for anything bad that happened under her administration. And I know some people, it's the Biden administration, not hers. Like, no, it's her. It's the Biden-Harris administration when it's convenient for her. But as soon as it's not convenient for her, all of a sudden it's not her administration. Very convenient there. Look at that smug face on her, look on her face. Like, well, you have to take responsibility for what happens in your administration. Except that when, you know, all of a sudden, no, it's not my fault. I will follow the law. You know, I'll follow the law. Which means that, yes, you would continue sex change operation for prisoners for no reason. So my money's going towards, you know, cutting off guys' nuts, you know, and making sure they have proper, you know,
surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate
well, it's black and white
for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment surgeries?
I will follow the law, just as I think so.
Again, I'll follow the law, which means, yes, you would support that.
Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think it's he spent $20 million on those ads. He
spent $20 million on those ads.
Oh my God, the horror.
Yeah, it's like, how dare Donald Trump spend millions of dollars on this ad campaign to point out, you know, I would support sex change operations, you know, for prisoners. So your federal tax dollars would go towards, you know, cutting off dudes' nuts and, you know, turning it into a vagina somehow. So how dare he?
Trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people.
Oh, but you do?
Whereas, at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote.
It's not remote. It's not. My mother went like, oh, yeah, you can't vote. I can't vote for this bitch. Is she out of her mind? And she didn't say, no, I wouldn't support it. She said, oh, well, I'll follow the law, which says, yes, you would support it. I mean, it's so dishonest that it's like, I was like, And my mother was like, would she really support that? It's like, yeah, she would. She did. So it's like, my mother's voted Democrat her entire life. She voted for Clinton twice. She voted for, she voted for Dukakis in 88, Clinton twice, Kerry, Obama twice, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden. And after she saw this, I'm like, I can't vote for Kamala Harris. Like, I don't blame you. I wouldn't vote for that bitch. I haven't voted Democrat in 20 years or 15 years, let's say, to be fair, because I voted for Obama twice. So I regret those votes. But yeah, it's been a long time voted Democrat. In typical Kamala Harris fashion, the vice president said her plan for the economy would strengthen it. The Trump plan would blow up her deficits. Kamala provided zero details on what her plan entails. No, to be fair, though, I mean, she has an opportunity economy. Remember, opportunity economy. And she'll also, whatever that means, and, she'll cut taxes for everybody and, rainbows and roses and, good luck to you. So.
My plans for our economy would strengthen our economy. His would make them weaker.
Why do you
would
think more
ignite
people
inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people
there's no basis on this is a recession by middle of next year. She just made that up. But
they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
Oh, by the way,
you and Biden continued that policy from Trump. What the fuck?
Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth. But yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. They continued almost all of President Trump's initial tax cuts.
Yeah,
all of them. But meanwhile, Donald Trump would do more tax cuts, and those are horrible. Oh yeah, we continued all of President Trump's initial tax cuts in 2017. But who cares? His tax cuts are terrible. Mine would be good. Jesus Christ, who takes her? I mean, this woman is just like, no wonder why she's losing. I mean, she can't even be honest.
I wonder if Kyle Kowinski will be praising her for that interview, like she did like he did in her CNN interview.
Yes. As funny as it happened, my YouTube algorithm gave me a Kyle Kowinski video. I'm not going to show it, but I want to read you guys the title, because he did respond to, put out a video responding to this. So just bear with me 1 second while I find it. But
oh boy,
it was on, I didn't watch it, but it was on my, timeline. So
I hope Dirtback left. Or I hope he posts clips of it.
He could have. I hope. Let's here we go. He's lost it. Russell Brand. Who cares about that?
Oh my! Lost it.
Yeah, he's talking about Russell Brand and how much of a Christian he became. But I'm not looking for that. Fox News humiliated playing gotcha with Kamala. That's the title of his video. So somehow Fox News was the one humiliated, not Kamala Harris. So that's the title. Fox News humiliated playing gotcha with Kamala. That's the title, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't like, it's not Kamala got humiliated. It was Fox. Things went from bad to worse when Kamala still could not come up with a single thing that she would do different with Biden. Brett Baer asked, so you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you do differently. Instead of answering the question, Kamala rambled on for a full minute while saying nothing of substance. And this is not, she doesn't say anything of substance.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden. Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
Nope.
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
She doubles down on it. Not only does she say, "There's nothing that comes to mind," she doubles down on it by saying, "Well, I've been involved in every major decision." She lost.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell would she even say that? Even if she said, "Well, I mean, it's nothing comes to mind." Don't say the fact that you are there every major
the reason
decision.
why she's saying that because she's assuming that Biden did such, or she wants to play as Biden did such a great job and the American people loved him as president.
Yeah, she wants to be a Biden loyalist at the same time attack Biden. So you can't have it both ways. Either Biden did a great job or he didn't. But you can't just say, "Well, game, set, match." Donald Trump's running that as an ad right now. I saw there's multiple ads Trump running that. It's like, well, I mean, there's nothing I would change. It's like, okay, you just lost. Forget about being president.
For a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what
Nothing.
would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change. In terms of, but also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So
she's not the orange man. That's the thing. That's important. She's not the orange man, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, she's drinking water there like she's Marco Rubio in 2016.
It's Kamala!
And, she didn't want to, like, well.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
Yes, it would be.
And like every new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas.
Wait, what professional experience? You have nothing. What, she's a former one-term senator and a one-term vice president and a district attorney? She has nothing. She doesn't have decades of experience like Hillary Clinton did. Remember when these liberals said, "Oh, Hillary Clinton's the most experienced candidate ever to run for president." Ever. You have to vote for her. Like these technocratic liberals, Kamala's experienced. Like, no, she's not. She's a one-term senator, a one-term DA, a one-term attorney general. So it's not like she has decades of experience. She doesn't. She's barely been around. And you want to use experience? I can use experience. It's like, well, you vote for Donald Trump. He has more experience. He's been president for 4 years. Like, well, I mean, come on, Angel. I mean, you got to vote for Kamala. She has more experience. Oh, Trump actually was president for 4 years? Oh, that's weird. Huh. And by the way, I'm not saying you should vote for Trump. I'm just saying, by that logic, you should vote for Trump because he has more experience.
I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C.
Neither is Trump, by the way.
Ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days.
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing. It's just, I mean, yeah, I have all these policies and blah, 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 bullshit.
It's interesting.
All right, so, here we go. The most painful moment of the night occurred when Kamala Harris crumbled for 2 minutes on the question of why Americans are unhappy with the direction the country moving in, which the polling shows about 75% of Americans are not happy with the direction the country moving in. And, of course, she has no good answers for that.
Yeah.
exhausted of Brett. Rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of Brett.
More than
people
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong
Look at that
track.
number. 79% says on the wrong track. 21% say on the right track. This polling from Marquette Law School from October 1st to October 10th. So today's the 18th. So it's from last week. So it's not much has changed from that number. In fact, it got worse over the last 8 days. But 21% said the right direction. 79% said on the wrong track. And who's president right now? Oh, that's right, Joe Biden. And Kamala Harris currently vice president right now. So who's gonna get the blame? Oh, that's right, Kamala's gonna get the blame. But she has no good answers for this. So let's watch to see what her answer actually is.
If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president.
Yep.
That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
Not
That's
Donald
all
Trump.
got. That's all they got.
Not Donald Trump. He's been gone since 2020. It's you. It's you and your boss, Joe Biden. You believe her? She does this throughout this interview. Like, she desperately tried to blame Donald Trump for things that she did, and
this
Joe
is why
Biden
Trump's
did.
gonna win. You know, this is why he's gonna win.
Immediately, she goes right to Donald Trump.
Been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person
no,
holding the office.
No, it's your
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking
Brett Bayer's like, I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, we both know what I'm talking about, right? Oh shit, you know what I'm talking about? That's weird.
I mean, did Kamala really expect that the Fox News interview was going to go well? That they would just, just not push her back on this stuff? Did she really thought that going on Fox News?
Look, she's desperate. It's a desperate campaign. Let's be fair. I'm gonna say this. It's a desperate campaign who's slinging shit to the wall and see what works and what doesn't work at this point, because she's losing. And you could tell me, well, Angel, she's winning the national polling. Technically, she is. She's up by a point or two in the national polling. Mm-hmm. But in the swing states, she's losing all of them except for Wisconsin. As of now, that could change. She'll probably be losing Wisconsin soon enough. But she's losing all the swing states. And we're not a democracy. We're a republic. So we have an electoral college. So the swing states matter more than the popular vote. So Kamala, my prediction is, as I said before, that Kamala is going to win the popular vote, but she's going to lose in the electoral college. So Donald Trump will take office twice without winning the popular vote. And of course, Democrats will melt down about that, but they won't do anything to change it. So let's see Kamala's answer.
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But
yeah, you're empowered.
Listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president, one, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable,
That's not an answer.
that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him
Madam
instead
Vice
of
President,
the American people.
if
People
that's the
are
case,
tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states?
That's a good
Why,
question.
if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
It's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a
so
cakewalk
are they misguided, the
for anyone.
50%?
Yes.
Listen,
Are
let
they
me-
stupid? What
Oh,
is
God,
it?
I would never.
That's exactly what she wants to say. She wants to desperately say that half the country is stupid. But Hillary Clinton said in 2016 that they were deplorables, half the country, which they think caused her loss in 2016. Even though I would say, even if she wouldn't have said that, she still would have lost the election. But she desperately tried not to say that half the country is stupid. which is why it's like, no, I would never say that.
Would never say that
See,
about the American people.
I would never say
and in
that.
fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle.
You see, the orange man, he's the one who demeans Americans, not me. I wouldn't dare demean Americans. The orange man, remember, orange man, he's the bad one, not me. I'm not evil here. It's the orange man.
And diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within.
The enemy within. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Democrats are obsessed with that. Donald Trump saying the enemy within. I don't know what that means, but
I don't either.
But yeah, he said that. The enemy within. I didn't really care enough to actually figure out what he meant. I don't think he knows what he means by that. But Kamala Harris is obsessed. Like, he said the enemy within. One point, when he was running. Maybe when he was president, I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but the enemy within, he's dangerous.
An enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's no way to do that. Yeah. Because the U.S. military has no authority. The U.S. military has no authority to operate within the U.S. borders. So there's no, even Donald Trump said that, which he did, there's no way for him to actually institute that policy because the U.S. military has no authority to operate within the U.S. But, don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop Kamala Harris from, swearing up and down that Trump would do that. Let's see. The conversation took an uncomfortable turn when Harris got angry talking about Donald Trump and the enemy within.
Before you play the clip, I just want to say I have the game on my phone, so I'll let you know if anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Oops. Oh shit. I screwed up. Hold on. No. Arguably the most embarrassing. No. Okay, here we go. No.
Witchy, you're gonna do the show again tomorrow, considering that the game is also playing tomorrow.
Well, I'm doing the show we're doing the show at 1:00. You want to come on, you can.
Despite also being the Yankee game being on.
I probably have the game on my phone, like we're doing tonight.
Okay, I'll probably come up at 9.
Okay,
I guess.
Okay, that sounds good. Hold on, let me see. I think I have to take this, but hold on. So I'm gonna play this clip. Wow, I'm just gonna have to look at this real quick. It's more about the enemy within bullshit, and then I'll come back and respond to it.
I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have some...
Let me go back to the beginning, though. Sorry.
I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated.
So Brett Baer plays a clip. It doesn't show here, but he plays a clip about how Donald Trump denies saying that, and then, no offense. I mean, that's not the clip where I mean when he actually does say that, and she has a little meltdown here.
He's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question.
Well, you said Fox was bad. It only showed 10 seconds of his 2-minute answer. Yeah, I mean, but I don't really care about the enemy within rhetoric because this is Trump, running his mouth. look, here's the thing with Trump. He says a lot of shit that he doesn't even know what he said half the time. So to use the enemy within rhetoric, I mean, act like he meant it is just ridiculous.
That we asked him.
He didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy.
This is a democracy.
And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump, you call Donald Trump, he's misguided.
See, she's desperately trying to get to her talking points about how evil Donald Trump is.
You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this.
and it gets, hopefully it's here, I think.
So,
here it is, yeah.
Singled on the first pitch, and Juan Soto's batting now.
Again, I'm just hoping that the Yankees win this game.
Yeah,
I just want a 3-1 lead, and it's like, okay, fine. That was brutal, but let's just get back to reality. But we'll see, and hopefully, but I digress. Arguably the most embarrassing moment of the night was when Kamala fell for the most obvious trap ever. Rivera seemed to empathize with Kamala's remarks about unstable Donald Trump, and then used the same comments to ask whether she noticed Joe Biden's mental acuity. This is hilarious, not her part, because she's like, "Well, I mean, yeah, he's unstable." Well, I mean,
wait, hold on, Soto. Juan Soto just homered. 2-0 Yankees.
That guy, Juan Soto, the kid. Holy shit! I mean. He won a World Series at 19 years old when the Nationals. I mean, if he does, he can do anything. And let's just do that. Let's just get that over with. All right. So she walks into the most obvious trap of all time. So let's watch.
He's unstable. He is unstable.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President...
Oh, come on, man. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Just close the windows. A bunch of music there.
That President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished.
See,
Joe Biden.
Look how shocked she is.
Diminished.
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand,
And
Joe Biden's on the ballot, guys. I mean, come on. I mean, it's me now.
Donald Trump
But you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand.
Yes,
You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even
it's the technocratic liberalism. I mean, they're obsessed with it. It's like, well, and most of the national security state have endorsed me. You see? So that means I would be the better president than Donald Trump, because all the national security state, they all endorse me. So I'm the good guy here. Remember, I mean, Brett, I mean, come on. You're asking me questions it makes me very uncomfortable. It very inconvenient for me.
Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
That's not an answer to Brett Baer's question. He just want to talk about the Orange Man. And she walked into the most obvious trap of all time when Brett Baer was like, well, you said Donald Trump is unstable and he's this, that, and the third. She's like, yeah, of course, she's unstable, Brett. I mean, that's what I said. It's like, oh, shit. You asked me about Joe Biden. Yeah, that's weird. I have no answers for that. Embarrassing. Let's see. It's more of this. Yeah. The conversation concluded in a fitting end when Brett Baer softly reminded Kamala she didn't say a single thing about herself and chose to spend her time shitting on Donald Trump instead. That was the theme of the entire interview. Yeah, that's the whole point of the interview. That was the whole point of her appearing on Fox.
I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
There's more to say. I have much more to say.
There are a lot of things that people.
Yes, I know you do. That's what you want to talk about, the Orange Man. Yeah.
Want to learn about you and your policy.
Yes, I want to learn about you, and you have nothing.
And that's why
I invite everyone to go to KamalaHarris.com, and you will see that I have.
No. I don't want to see KamalaHarris.com. You stole Joe Biden.
We want to hear from you, Kamala.
What she did is stole Joe Biden's policies and just put her name on it and put it on her website. I mean, it's not her. It took her a month before she had any policy on her website. It took her a month, and she acts like, well, go to KamalaHarris.com. All my policies are there. Oh, you want me to answer questions about that? I don't know my policies. What are my policies? And she looking towards advisors like, what's my policies? I have no idea.
Have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them.
It should be accessible.
And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do
and that's why we invited you here
our economy,
to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
She wants the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
I want to continue the wars.
That's what that means. It's like, oh yeah, I want to make sure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world. Translation, I'm going to continue all the wars. Don't worry, military-industrial complex. We won't change anything in my administration. We're going to continue murdering Arabs and Africans around in Africa. Because right now we're in the Middle East and we're in Africa for the most part. And Americans don't know we're actually in Africa, but we are. We're bombing in 7 different countries in Africa, something like that.
Madam Vice President,
and
they're giving me a hard rap
here.
Well,
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet.
When Brett Baer says they're giving me a hard rap, that means her campaign officials that are off camera are doing this. It's like, yeah, we're done here. Let's get the fuck out of here, Kamala. I mean, and she's acting like, well, I thank you. It's like they're giving me a hard rap. That means her people are. It isn't, it's not Fox. It's not them. It's her. So, yeah, let's see. I think I may have more clips. If not, then we can move on.
So they're going to the bottom of the first right now.
Okay, well, Soto got his home run out of the way. Huge home run, I think, because the Yankees need to show that they weren't bombed. They weren't shell shocked by last night. Yeah, even though I was, but I digress. I mean, they weren't shell shocked by it.
And I will see how good Luis Hill is tonight.
Oh God, I hope that. I just hope the kid comes out and gives us 6 innings. I mean, I'm not expecting him to shut out just give us 6 solid innings. That's all I want.
And hopefully doesn't walk that many batters.
So let's see. But all right, so we have a bunch of liberals saying Kamala Harris was fabulous on Fox. She needs to go on Joe Rogan and speak to him for 3 hours so everybody can see how fabulous she is.
So
I hope he.
the Mets just won 12-6, so there'll be a game 6 on Saturday. Oh wait.
The Mets.
No, Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
the Mets won't go away. I'm telling you. I mean, I thought the Dodgers would have wrapped up this series already.
I thought so too, but Jack Flaherty shit the bed tonight.
I mean, they just won't go away, the Mets. So yeah. So let's see. So we have more thoughts here from. Let's see. I already played that. So we have Brett Baer here from Fox, actually, giving us a little more detail here. There's more, but I just want to show this part where he thinks that Kamala, had a mission, and it wasn't to answer his questions. He went on Hannity's show.
I actually think this is a different take. I think she had a mission that she wanted to do, and maybe she wanted to have a viral moment. She wanted to have a pushback. She came to Fox News and she wanted to have a go after Donald Trump viral moment that plays on a lot of other channels and on social media. And I think she may have gotten that.
That's exactly what it was. That was her intention. It wasn't ever to actually answer any questions from anyone at Fox. It was just, she wanted to. So we have Brian Stelter of CNN who's fucking, praising her real quick. This was one of the most adversarial interviews Kamala Harris has probably done. A lot of viewers are going to come away with her saying, wow, she's willing to do that.
Luis Hill just walked the leadoff batter. So
that's a sign of toughness and strength. So Brian Stelter is going to suck up to Kamala here.
Exactly. I totally agree, Ashley. I think this strategy from Harris was a Google strategy. She wanted Fox viewers to start to Google some of the things she was saying because some of the comments she was making in this interview are foreign to the Fox audience. For example, General Mark Milley saying Trump is a fascist to the core. That's barely been covered on Fox News. So she was able to get some of those talking points in. This was the most adversarial interview Kamala Harris has probably ever done. Instead of getting to debate Trump again, she got to debate Brett Baer. And a lot of viewers are going to come away saying, wow, she's willing to do that. That's a sign of toughness and strength.
Shut the fuck
impressive
up.
Indeed.
CNN, Brian Stelter got his job back at CNN, and now he's like, is completely. So we have
runners on second and third now.
Well, I mean, yeah, bullshit. We have Fox host Kamala Harris should be pleased how she performed tonight. By the way, this is Harold Ford Jr., who was a former Democratic congressman, but somehow this is a Fox host, according to the Harris people.
You did a great job because you asked the tough questions and you went back at her.
What's funny is here it says former Tennessee representative. It doesn't say Democrat. I mean, so Fox News not even honest about his affiliation.
Tough questions, and she should be pleased with how she performed this evening.
Yeah, very pleased. I'm proud. I'm sure the Democrats love that performance. Let's not that. So again, these are brutal. And Donald Trump has on the ad against her, which talks about how, she wouldn't change a thing. She wouldn't change a damn thing. So this ad has been running all over the country.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Well, there you go. I mean, why the hell did she say that? I don't know, but she managed to just ruin her campaign.
Jose Ramirez just hit a sacrifice fly, so it's 2-1.
Yeah, those Guardians won't go away either. I mean, shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it could have been worse. Hill can still get the next 2 outs. Just one run allowed, so We'll see
You
what
know, I
happens.
mean, they could still, they can get out of it, not much going on, but it's like, really? So let's see. Where is it? I had something else here. Oh, and this is just dumb. This part is just. This is the FTC, the new rules. The FTC has finalized this click to cancel rule, which will require companies to make it easy to cancel a subscription as it is to sign up. Unwanted subscriptions add up for Americans, and our administration is taking action to save family time and money. So let's see. Finalized rules make it easier to cancel subscriptions and memberships. So yeah, they apparently, according to the administration, Americans are stupid and can't cancel their subscriptions either to Netflix or I assume Peacock or stuff like that. Under the Biden-Harris administration new rules, again, Biden-Harris. Remember, I mean, they want you to make sure that she's involved in these decisions. So,
Yeah.
Steps to cancel membership or subscription. I'm sorry, but it's not that hard to do it. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to do it in one step, but you can do it in 2 or 3 steps very easily. Like in my app, I don't need to be like, "Hey, you're too stupid to do it, so let's make it a little easier for you by saying, click to cancel subscription successfully canceled." I could do it. I don't need you to tell me how to cancel my subscription. But I digress. You know what I mean? Maybe some people may need it. I don't know, but I don't. But let's see. Oh, Tom Brady bought into the Raiders.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
heard
new.
about
It's like, let me just read this real quick. This is hilarious. It's like, ironically, Tom Brady bought into the Raiders. Here's Tom Brady's little statement here. I'm incredibly humbled and excited to have unanimously approved as the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Throughout my NFL career, I learned that its core that football is a game of work, teamwork, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. The Raiders franchise in the city of Las Vegas embody those same values, and I've been honored to be part of that story. Football has been a part of my entire life growing up in the Bay Area. In so many ways, my football life and journeys come full circle because he beat the Raiders initially because of the Tuck rule. If it wasn't for that, they would have won that for a Super Bowl. If it wasn't for that, then that dynasty wouldn't have started.
Yeah.
But I digress, Football's been a part of the area so many ways. My football life.
Luis Hill got out of it. Just only one wasn't allowed, so
that's good.
And he didn't have to throw a whole lot of pitches, so
Again, that's good too. Here's the thing, real quick with the Guardians. I mean, they have overused that bullpen. That bullpen is exhausted. I mean, it's like so. Hopefully, they have to play what is this game 4? It's at worst 3 more games, and do they have a chance? Maybe not. Probably not. But again, let's just see. But let's see. Football's been a part of my life for Bay Area so many ways. My football life and journeys come full circle. I love the sport. I love my teammates, coaches, and the fans, and every organization that I've been a part of. Tom Brady, you've been a part of 2 organizations, the Patriots and the Buccaneers. Yes, I've been part of 10 organizations. Sports bring me together. Nothing else can. I grew up on the field. It's a blessing to know I've been involved in the greatest league in the world. I would like to thank Mark Davis for welcoming me into his family. Blah, blah, blah. Imagine old man, Mark Davis? No, the old man. I forget his name. The original.
I'm the one who passed away years ago. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, I don't remember his name right now.
Yeah, imagine
Al Davis. Is that his name?
Al Davis. Yes, Al Davis. Imagine him. Oh yeah, Tom Brady, the one that screwed me over in 2001 and going to Super Bowl. Oh yeah, let me welcome him into the ownership of the Raiders. No, there's no way he would have done that. That's why I'm like, it's like his son. I mean, I'm sure he's rolling over in his grave. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, Kamala Harris wants to legalize marijuana. By the way, let's talk about that.
No, she doesn't.
This is her new attempt to attract black men to her campaign.
Yeah.
Nobody should go to jail for smoking weed, except for the ones I put in jail while I was Attorney General. But let's just ignore that.
And then someone posted Tulsi Gabbard going after her. That debate stage.
Kamala Harris will legalize recreational marijuana. breaking down unjust barriers that hold Black men and other Americans back and making sure Black Americans have opportunities to succeed in the marketplace take shape. So again, Black twice. She said Black men twice for a reason. Yes. I can't believe that people, like anyone, would take her seriously after everything she's done to marijuana users. Let's, so Kamala Harris did a audio town hall with Charlemagne where she talks about. Did I show this reparations? I might have.
You said something.
Okay.
It was important to look at or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what it was. I did. So yeah. So let's see what else. Did I miss something? Yes, I did. Here we go. So Kamala Harris is losing with Black men. And this is historic because I've never seen this, so I want to show this real quick. So this is a CNN polling recently. So twice for president. So these are exit polls from 2012 to 2020.
Nice.
Look at this. Obama got 79% of Black men vote and 93% of Black women vote. Clinton in 2016 got 69% of Black men vote, 90% of Black women. Biden in 2020 got 60% of the Black men vote, 81% of Black women vote. Let's see, Kamala Harris scored in the polling, 52% of Black men vote, 77% of Black women vote. If that holds, she's going to lose.
Yeah, there's no way she's beating Trump. No way.
Yeah, if that holds, if this polling is correct, that she barely got half of Black men support.
Well, I mean, with a few weeks left, no way it's going to change.
No, it's not. I mean, this is brutal. And you can see it right there. I mean, it's gone down from Obama to Clinton to Biden to Harris. I mean, this is brutal. Everything, not just Black men, but Black women too, has gone down slowly. Black women still have 77%, but she's at 77 and 52 for Black men. She's going to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, if that holds from election day, she's definitely going to lose. Let's see. So, what else? Oh, here we go. So, I'm going to talk about this more tomorrow, but Donald Trump is going on Undertaker's podcast next week at some point.
Oh, yeah. I just saw a clip that he was with Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah, I'm going to show that now. I mean, I had it here, so... So here's Undertaker and Kane, his brother, and President Trump.
Choice is yours. You get right, everyone. November 5th, Election Mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and the Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and the nation depends on it. And that should be.
Yeah, because Dave Bautista endorsed Kamala.
Yeah, Dave Bautista endorsed Kamala Harris. Love it. Yeah, so Donald Trump is doing Undertaker's podcast, and apparently he's doing Joe Rogan too at some point. And oh yeah, let's talk about Kamala Harris desperately want to do Joe Rogan too. So let's not forget that part. So she's trying to, drag herself into Joe Rogan's podcast for no reason. Look, here's the thing: she's not going to survive 3 hours of Joe Rogan, let alone 1 hour. I mean, how the hell she could barely survive Brett Bayer's interview for 20 minutes. Imagine her doing 3 hours with Joe Rogan, at least. It's not going to happen. So, which is why, she could run her mouth all she wants about how she's going to do Joe Rogan, but she isn't. So let's Obama. Thank you for all the chats. I'm not updating here for some reason.
Wait a minute. Oh. Austin Wells just homered. Finally, he did something.
Really? That kid homered? I mean, he's done dick in the postseason. I'm hearing the commentary, so we're like, wait, what's going on? I heard you kind of... But let's see. So this is Obama and Biden having a conversation at Ethel Kennedy's funeral, allegedly. So Biden told Obama, she's not as strong as me. An ex-president agrees, says that's true. A lip reader hired by the New York Post reports. So
good to see the Yankees responding well after the loss. last
Oh
night.
yeah, it is great to see the Yankees responding well so far. So I definitely agree with that. But yeah, you could see.
Yeah.
If you read lips. Damn. President Biden griped to a former President Obama that she's not as strong as me, with Obama agreeing that's true, in a stunning off-mic conversation. So I'm going to play this one real quick. This is an AI-generated conversation. This is somebody screwing around here with AI, but I put this on my YouTube channel and everybody thought it was hilarious. So this is an AI. I want to make clear an AI conversation. This is not real, but this is still hilarious.
So is Kamala doing okay?
Nope. She's down, Joe. I think they found out that she's retarded, and now we're basically fucked. Trump is killing us at the polls, so yes, we're going to lose Joe.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Wait. What if I come back to run again?
As candidate?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way, Joe. The only person in this world who is even more retarded than Kamala Harris is basically you. So no, Joe,
on, man.
you're not going
Give me
back
another
yet.
shot.
Let's let it all
Shot.
play out. Okay, we'll talk later, Joe.
Okay.
Women looking fine up in here.
Women looking fine up in here. That's Bill Clinton, of course.
So
he's right there. They basically found out she's retarded, and now we're fucked. By the way, that was AI, but still, I thought it was funny enough to play for you guys here. So, did Mark? Did Mark endorse Trump? You mean Taker?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. He's. What it looked like there, at least, Steph. It definitely like some sort of endorsement. So, if you asked me if he endorsed Donald Trump, I would say yes. But
I think Stone Cold Steve Austin may have endorsed Trump too, or I don't know if he endorsed, but he praised Trump recently. So,
yeah, well, it seems like nearly every celebrity has endorsed Donald Trump. Kamala Harris. Unless you're talking about your Undertakers or Kane. Kane is a Republican politician, and he's been supporting Trump for years, so it's not like anything new there. Undertaker himself, I know him. The reason I know him to be a conservative because when he went on Joe Rogan, like the first time, I think, when Joe Rogan still moved to when he moved to Texas, Undertaker was like, "You can move here Texas all you want, but don't bring that liberal shit here."
Yeah.
So that tells me everything you know of Undertaker's politics, So he definitely is not some liberal. Undertaker is definitely not some liberal. So I'm guessing that he would be supporting Donald Trump. See, let's see, where is it? I saved something and now it's gone. Karl Rove is pro Kamala, of course he is.
Karl Rove.
So Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris is now kind of rehashing Russiagate. So she's gonna bring that back if she loses, which I guarantee she will. She's almost sure she will. Kamala Harris is now rehashing Russiagate and sowing doubt in the upcoming election. They have already started with the misinformation and the lies. We know there's foreign interference. She went on Roland Martin's show, apparently, whoever this is.
Roland
They've
Martin.
already
The
started
one who
with the
got scared when
misinformation.
what's his name? Last name Green when he showed up at the convention and Roland Martin.
Yeah, and he also had some issues with Sabs as well. So he started. So yes, that Roland Martin. Yeah.
They've already started with the misinformation and the lies.
And the
We know
lies.
that there is foreign interference, and I have to say to
See,
everybody,
we know there's
listening to
foreign
this,
interference.
don't let them take your voice. Because
She means Russia.
Because I was part of the Senate Intelligence Committee when we investigated Russia's interference in the 2016 election. Black folks were targeted with misinformation.
You see, black folks were targeted, which means that black folks aren't smart enough to differentiate from Russian propaganda. So you guys are dumb. If you're black, you're watching this show, I'm sorry. According to the vice president, you're dumb. And you're not smart enough to see the difference between propaganda and what's real. So I'm sorry to inform you that that's what the VP thinks of you. Because she isn't black herself. She's, she's Indian and Jamaican. But
Yeah.
I digress, what I mean? She thinks you're stupid, in other words. So let's see. So that's for tomorrow.
Nice.
That's for tomorrow as well. But yeah, Donald Trump is doing a shit ton of podcasts. He's doing Joe Rogan. He's done Patrick Bet David's podcast. He's done interviews. He's going to do Undertaker's podcast apparently too. And he's doing Joe Rogan. And meanwhile, Kamala Harris is a flailing campaign like, what do we do? What do we do? We're losing. Let's try to get on Joe Rogan. Oh, I actually won't go on Joe Rogan because I have to talk off the cuff for 3 hours, and I can't do that for 20 minutes. So that's not going to work. I'm going to go on all these friendly shows and do interviews. I'm going to go on Fox. That's a good idea. Oh, shit, it was a disaster as well. I mean, she's like if she actually does go on Joe Rogan, it's like a Hail Mary pass in a Super Bowl, down by 4. And you're on, and the quarterback on his own 20-yard line with like 5 seconds left and down by 4. So he needs a touchdown to win the Super Bowl in one play. Good luck trying to get that touchdown when you're on your own 20-yard line. But, that's why if Kamala Harris actually does go on Joe Rogan, that tells me that she's desperate, she's flailing, and she's going to lose. Because there's no way Joe Rogan's going to do her a favor and and have a scripted show for her. I mean, that's not going to happen. So he's not going to do it for Donald Trump. He's not going to do it for her either. So it's not like Rogan is just some kind of. Even though if I had to guess, he's probably going to vote for Trump, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe he'll vote. Maybe he won't vote third party, but he's not going to vote Kamala Harris. I'll tell you that much.
Who are we talking about? Sorry, I was looking at the game. Who are we talking about?
Oh, no. I was talking about Kamala Harris's possible appearance on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, no, but I'm just on. You mentioned you won't endorse Kamala. Who are you talking about?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that. I mean, if he's gonna vote for anybody, he'll vote for Trump. Especially, even though people are like, "Oh well, he was a Bernie guy." Yeah, 8 years ago or 4 years ago at the most. I mean, this is the same guy now who has a couple $100 million contract with Spotify. I mean, his politics has changed a lot, I'm sure. So, and Undertaker and Kane are both voting for Trump. You can look at it. I mean, I showed that clip earlier here where, Undertaker with Trump and with Kane as well. The Brothers of Destruction. Oh yeah, we endorse Trump, by the way. Go vote for him. So, Undertaker is gonna have Trump on his podcast, and if that happens, I'll definitely be playing some clips on either here or on Pro Wrestling Talk. Whenever it does happen. But I'm sure it'll happen now because Trump was just with Undertaker and Kane. So as I showed that video, which he says I don't like Glenn because he's a Republican. No, I don't. I'm not saying you should. I'm just, I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. Definitely. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But so this is an interesting thing. I don't know how true this is, but again, this is just. I have a little bit 4 more minutes. This is from Kamala after last night's interview with Brett Baer. So I'm not sure how true this is. I'm just going to read it anyways. My friend was in the camera crew for last night's interview with Brett Baer and Kamala Harris. Kamala clearly struggled, as many people pointed out. After the interview concluded...
He'll just gave up a walk with 2 outs. So
come on. You got those strikes. You're up 3-1. After the interview concluded, she apparently refused to shake Brett's hand and called him dirty. And then she said, "You're just another lousy MAGA nut job." Brett just laughed. Then she then started to tear up and said, "We can edit this, right?" Then she went to her team and said, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's over." At least she knew she messed up. Again, I don't know how true any of this is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because just based off everything that she's done in her career. So it based everything he's done. It's like, oops. So I want to play this to this. So this is Kamala again. Says any country folk want to weigh in on what the fuck this lady's saying. So I'm trying to figure out what she said here too, but
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd
so
support?
they're talking about voter ID here, but I can't figure out what she's saying here.
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are. Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
So it comes across of her saying that poor Americans or rural Americans are too stupid to actually be able to prove who they are, so they can't get voter ID, which is very simple because all you need is your state ID, either
Yeah.
your license or a state ID. You wouldn't. There's not anything special to. What voter ID means is basically having some sort of picture ID to prove who you are. Either that's your license or your state issue ID or whatever. You don't. It's not a second ID you need on top of that. It's it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. I don't know what the
Louis
hell
Hill
she's saying.
was able to get out of the second, so still 3-1 Yankees.
All right, looks like he's pitching in and out of trouble.
And it looks like the Guardians are already going to go to their bullpen. So because I saw someone warming up. Yeah.
I'll say this real quick. Here's the thing with Stephen Voigt, or whatever his name is, the manager.
It's VOTT. That's how it's spelled.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of Luke Voigt. That's why you're saying that.
Yeah, it sounds similar. It looks similar. I'm sorry. He has an itchy trigger finger and tends to pull starters for his bullpen. And I get the Guardians bullpen is one of the best in baseball, even though they kind of blew the game last night for them. Even though they ended up winning, I get it, but Class A kind of butchered that game completely. But yeah, I would have stuck with my starter there. Okay, he's 3-10. His ERA is 5. He has an awful year, but he gave up 3 runs. And like he gave up 10 runs, so he was fine. I would have stuck with him, but hey, pull him. Go ahead, pull him. That way, even if you win today, you're going to be screwed because you're probably going to lose the series because your bullpen is gassed. But go ahead, pull him.
Well, to be fair, the Yankees bullpen might be a little gassed too. So that's
that's true too. But but the Yankees, they're let's see, Cole Rondon went 6-7 innings in game 1. Cole went 5.
No, Cole went 4 1/3.
Yeah, 4 1/3. Schmidt went 4 2/3 last night, and hopefully Hill can go longer, can go deeper into the game. but yeah, I mean the Yankees that please keep pulling your starters after 2 innings. I mean, keep doing that, buddy. I mean, and like we talked about earlier, Class A, like recording all his awards, like, hey, look what I've done in my career.
Yeah.
Look at how great I've been. Oh yeah, by the way, I came up really small in the playoffs so far, but look at all my awards.
Williams is still pitching, so he's not out yet.
Okay. What's your question, Witchy? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm still here for now. So let's see. Well, and definitely, I know that Voigt is definitely warming somebody up because that's what he's done throughout the playoffs. So I definitely believe that. But he pulled like I think it was game 5 in the division series when he pulled the start of 2 innings too. So it was like I was like, oh yes, thank God he pulled the starter. He's gonna wear out his bullpen before even game 1 of the next round. So it's like, are we gonna review Vince's docuseries 3 and 4? Oh, I forgot about that. I guess so. If you watched it, we can talk about it for sure tomorrow. But I mean, I totally forgot about that. So yeah, we can definitely talk about that tomorrow if if you've talked about it already. Let's see, what time is it? We got 10 minutes. So let's talk about this real quick. This is Zelensky's crazy plan. His
Now Stephen Vogt's gonna make the move.
There you go. See, the man's making his move, ladies and gentlemen. He's taking out his starter, who was 3-10 when ERA of 5. But he's pulling him now. And I saw some Yankee fans on Twitter, or some fan on Twitter, saying, well, the Yankees making him like Roger Clemens. It was like, actually, they didn't, but because the Yankees have a history of making bad starters look good and stuff, but at least the most recent history of the Yankees. But so, yeah, this is Zelensky's victory plan against Russia, courtesy of Nick Cruz from RBN.
Zelensky officially reveals his victory plan against Russia, and it is as delusional as you expect it to be. Ukraine's victory plan, in a nutshell, is to start World War III and nuclear war. The first point is an immediate non-starter for many Western countries who've been supportive of Ukraine. Zelensky claims in order to defeat Russia, the first step is to admit Ukraine into NATO, which was...
That's not going to happen. What the hell is he thinking? He's just like, can Ukraine get into NATO? Oh, no, we can't? We're going to start nuclear war? Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
Trigger Article 5 and start World War III. Zelensky says this, knowing that the West doesn't even want his ass in NATO. The West said to Zelensky that they may accept him into NATO after he defeats Russia, which is essentially the West saying, nah, it's not going to happen. So let's get this straight. In order to join NATO, the alliance said that Ukraine has to defeat Russia first. But according to Zelensky's victory plan, the first bullet point is for Ukraine to join NATO. Clearly, Zelensky is confused here. Apparently, Zelensky don't understand that the West was just using him and his country to weaken Russia. Apparently, Zelensky didn't know that the West was using Ukraine in order to test battlefield innovations of the military-industrial complex. Apparently, Zelensky didn't know that the goal of the West is not successful war, it's never-ending profitable war, and the Ukraine war was extremely profitable for the military-industrial complex. The only victory plan for Ukraine is negotiating for peace and learning how to cooperate with their neighbors.
So there you go. That was Zelensky's genius plan. It's like, oh yeah, can we get into NATO? Oh no, you won't let me into NATO? Shit.
I really hate Vladimir Putin. He's the bad guy, but I'm the warmonger. I want to kill Russia.
Can we join NATO? Oh no, we can't join NATO because it'll start World War III. Ah shit, I got nothing else then. Oh yeah. Oh, we can join NATO when we beat Russia. Are you serious right now? Like, we're not going to beat Russia. You damn well know that, which is why Ukraine never be in NATO. I mean, it's just ridiculous, for Zelensky there to think that the U.S. would ever let them in NATO. I mean, it's insane. Well, so I think that'll do it for this episode. I mean, that's all I'm really going to talk about tonight. Because the Yankees are up 3-1 still, and quite frankly, I would want to go finish watching this game, and hopefully they go up 3-1 tonight. I mean, that'd be nice after the gut punch of last night. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna wrap up now. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please like and give me a subscription. Subscribe to INN. Make sure you check out Pro Wrestling Talk tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern. Same channel, same place. All that good stuff. So yeah, let's see. NATO is a terrorist organization. Zelensky would fit perfectly, no doubt about it. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Steph. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see everybody tomorrow night. And thank you very much for watching. Give me a like, please subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the stream, or share the show, whatever. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.